Welcome back to Satisfactory. Since the last episode, I've done a few things in the base that I would like to share with you before we go on to do the mission of this specific episode. Now, first of all, one of the things that I have done is that I have straightened out the hypertube network because, you know what? The last patch, it actually finally added stackable hypertubes. So you can stack them. Another thing, I think that's been in since at least the last patch, is that you can also stack everything on top of one another now. So if I, for instance, want to stack that, and then I can stack a pipeline on top of that again. So you have that option now, which is, well, as it should be. This one was supposed to be straight, but apparently it isn't. I haven't done that one yet. But let's take this hypertube first. I've done some alterations to it. Now there's no clipping anymore. As you see, I've swapped out the ceiling from in here. And here's one of the first stackers that I have. So I needed a fence here because otherwise when I came out of that tube it actually just bumped me right into that one. I've changed this one as well. Instead of going to over there, it now goes directly here, which is more sensible, I think. And it looks better in the terrain as well, now that I can get them stacked. The other thing that I did with the hypertubes is that I built this one here, which now takes me up through this one and over here and up to the biomass area. I felt it was easier than having to run all the way over to the bottom of this ledge. And as you can see, there is another hypertube going there as well. And that one is quite fun. It's the one that takes you to the steel area. It looks very bizarre when they are stacked too close to one another, as you can see. But that's fine. But it's very useful to have these stackable hypertubes. I'm quite content with that. I've also changed a little bit on these bends and turns. I'm using the... what is it called again? You have default, you have vertical, you have 2D something something. I don't remember. We'll have to check when we get down here. Let's see. Transportation, hypertube. You have default. You have conveyor, 2D. You have noodle. Yeah, so I've built them in noodle. There's not much going on over here, except for the things that have been going on here all the time. I just wanted to show off the new hypertubes with gentler turns, as you can see, with the noodle style. It gives more pleasant turns instead of very abrupt turns in the tubes. It also just looks better, I feel. Okay, now went with the fence now, I would just have been flung directly into that one. So let's go back to the main base. I have so many things that I have to do, but I've kept postponing them because it's slightly overwhelming. So other than the hypertube network there, I've also modified the hypertube network up there, but we don't need to drive the hypertubes all the way. So up here on the top of this area, we now have Nobelisk production, which is done here. So I have an excess of Nobelisks. I'll probably swap out that stack of Nobelisks. I have cartridge production, finally. So this container will be full of cartridges, which is excellent. And of course we have the magic beacons that are able to stand like that in a conveyor belt. I'm not sure how that Works. Then I did some creative moving of the rubber, plastic and quick wire that came in from the other base. So they are now coming into that secondary mall that I have here. And underneath here is one of the more the new things that I've done. But for this mall, I had certain issues getting the circuit boards down to level 3 here. It probably would have been easier to just get them up on level 5 and move them, but and I might do that in the long run. The circuit boards are coming out from that container, as you can see, and down here, and they've also modified the graphics for the circuit boards. They look very cool. I mean, I like the old graphic, but they look more detailed now with these ICs, Fix-It, and a very rough PCI Express connector or something. And then we have the plastic going out from there, coming to that one, and there's a lift right beneath it that looks kind of funky, and that one takes the crystal oscillators. Yes, takes that down there, and the plastic goes out here and down to where it belongs, which is all the way over there where we are making the circuit boards. And then the circuit boards, of course, come out there and go out, and then they go over to the computer section. Now, let's jump down here. I have multiple belts going underneath the base. You have computers, we have tactical Borg cubes, we also have the circuit boards themselves, we have the crystal oscillators. I just wanted the glass because it is cool to see this junction point here from underneath. Also, the circuit boards are coming down all the way over there, of course. I took away the container that was up here and replaced it with this system of lifts. I'm not sure why there's not coming any circuit board out of here. Should have circuit boards coming out, actually. Must go and check that. Did I disconnect something that I shouldn't disconnect? Apparently it's not getting quick wire. Hold on a moment. That looks like wire. Okay, well that's something I need to fix, because this is not supposed to be wire, it's supposed to be quick wire. How did I do that? I'm confused about how and what I've been thinking here. I've even made this elaborate lift system to get the wire down and up. But I've obviously missed that. We can modify that right away. Does that need to be a level 3 belt? I suppose it does. No, it can be a level 2 belt, I think? No, it must be level 3. But just barely. Because it's... No, it's level 2. 112.5. Need to check my spreadsheet to see that I've actually calculated correctly here. Quick wire, I'm using 225, so something seems to be off that. How about the wire? Yeah, there is something off on the calculations here. This one then needs to be... I can adjust the spreadsheet later. Let's just connect this up. There is enough quick wire. I know that there is enough quick wire because one of the things that I did do was... that I haven't mentioned yet is that I have upgraded the the Caterium smelting on both the Caterium node that is over there. I've overclocked that to 200% and then built 11. Yes, 11 smelters, where one is clocked at 66%, and then I have doubled the production of quickwire on both of those outposts, so we're now getting 480 times 2 quickwire into the base. I think that's the correct angle. Yes, it is. Good. Guess it's supposed to go in on that angle. Set that to be number 1. That's something that I keep doing all the time, just changing the shortcuts for things. So we need to remove that one, and finally that one. Actually, this doesn't need to be Mark III, but it's fine. This uses 37.5 per minute, so we can have a regular Mark I lift for it. Here. Here. And now I think we're getting regular wire down because I forgot to remove this belt. Is there... No, there isn't. Good. Come on. There's still wire left. Okay, well, at least I got rid of all the wire now. And I think I need to connect these two as well. Would be a beneficial thing. I don't need this stackable conveyor. Why did I get that? That doesn't make sense to me. Sometimes it just dumps things on the ground like that. Okay, so now they're making circuit boards again. There is a wire left on both of these, so we need to make sure that we remove that. There we go. Now I've got way too much wire. So they are being produced, but it takes time. I've made this part modular so I can get more of these assemblers in here. There we go. That means that everything is in order again, as it should be. Need to go drop off those items because I need the inventory space for what we're going to do. Now, I don't remember if I've done anything else, but since I can't remember, I think we're fine. I believe I mentioned that I overclocked the coal mine because I needed the coal for the compressed coal. 2, 4, 6, 8, good. There we go. Yep. So, what we are going to do in this specific episode, now that I've showed up things, is that we're going to try to get up there. Up on that mountain. There is no natural road going up there, much to my annoyance, so we'll just have to go mountain climbing. Oh, yeah, I also redirected the belts coming from the oil post down here so that they're coming in with the lift system over here. I like this lift system thing. It looks kind of cool, I think. You could just push the belts up the way you want and have them crisscross one another, but as you all know, that's not really my style of doing things. So where do we want to? Here. Here's the place we want to go. We'll leave the car here. And jump upwards here, and I'll have to build some ramps and, or not ramps, but foundations, and I also have to build the walkways. Come on, Caledorn. Seriously? Might be able to get over there, actually. There's going to be things to fight up here, though. And that's something I do remember, like this guy. I can take with a sword. The bees, however... I can't even begin to describe how much I loathe those bees. I don't know why there's so many of them there. I know there's a hard drive that I've picked up on top of that little rocky outcropping, but why there are so many of them here, I do not understand, including angry goats and everything. Same down here. Several of the nests. There doesn't appear to be anything of interest that they should be guarding or anything like that. But we want to get up there. So let's see here. We start here. To make sure that I get the angle of this thing right. Should work. You'd have to jump on this, but that's fine. Organization, walkway, ramp. I've been up here before, and there are some nasties up there. So we need to pay attention to that specific part. The nasties in question are even spitting space goats, and the one thing you don't want happening to you is having yourself attacked by those when you're on a walkway. Especially not when you're this high up in the air. Because they can actually make you fall off. Which I can attest to the fact that that is not fun. I have had that happen to me and I did not enjoy it. That should suffice. No, need one more. I'd rather have a little too high than too low so that I can get into the landscape. We need to pay attention to these things. dying. There are two of you. That explains quite a bit. Pale berry. I apologize for the loudness of the sound of the rifle. For some reason that doesn't seem to be affected by the volume controls. Where did it go? There. There's another one? Or am I... No, that is definitely another one. Why so many? Oh. That's why they're so... That's not why we're here anyway, so that's fine. Party plant. We are no big fans of the farty plants, so we will take those out. There. Oh, there's a yellow slug down there. Ah, that's what we're up here for, the node over there. That's bauxite. But of course we have to deal with two of those. And grab the yellow power slug as well while we're here. I wonder... Yes, I can do that. Not to mention the fact that there's a whole lot more of them down there. Smaller ones. Bauxite apparently is very well protected. Far away. And I don't think so. That's one dead. Not sure what size I killed. Regular one. There we go. That leaves the other big one. That's those two dealt with. I have no idea if I actually got it down or not. Let's try to take out that one as well. You're not even curious about what happened to you, are you? I think that's the first time I've actually done active combat with obelisks. But why not? Oh, you're still alive. Well, not for long. Grab all of these organs. The other bauxite node should be somewhere over there. I think it's across there, so it's either on that one or that one, but I think it's on that one. Let's see here. Need to have an equipment workshop. Need to make 2 portable miners. And then we can build a miner Mark II. But as usual, I want these to be on foundations. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get power up here. So, a miner Mark II to be there. Foundations then. Probably should build foundations all the way because it's on a, of course it's thing. Now I'm going to use glass foundations for the rest of the way, mostly because I need to see where this belt ends up. Oh wow, really? I'm pretty sure this is too high for a lift. I really strongly doubt that a lift will be able to transport it all the way down here in one straight line. The question is, how the heck do I do this? I could potentially transport it down here. But I don't know if that's enough to get it further down, because we need it down in the refinery there. Oh my, this is going to be quite the logistical challenge. I don't like that sound. Okay, well, let's make a stackable conveyor pole there. And can make a conveyor pole. That's not correct there. Do I have enough to use Mark IV belts, I wonder? Hopefully I do. So this is a pure node, so we can overclock it right away to give us 480. I'm not going to bother with making stackables up here. That sound that I'm hearing is not exactly what I would say is promising in terms of this being a safe place to go down, because that sound does remind me of something that I let's be on the safe side here. Make a foundation. Build a walkway ramp. Okay, so it looks safe. Looks can be deceiving though. It's actually fine. Down there we have some wasps and some spiders and some very, very, very annoying reflection in the glass. Just out of curiosity, how far down can a lift go? If we put that there, I know they changed slightly, they modified the length of it. If we make a conveyor pole on the edge there, and we go down here, we need to be very careful here. Logistics, mark for lift. Okay, so it can go that far down. I guess I could chain them. Instead of having to do all this going around everything, chaining them is probably simpler. Let me just check that that actually works. I do that. Yeah, I can chain them. So let's just do that instead, because this is going to be far too involuted and annoying if I'm going to have to go around everything. Then I need to do the foundations again, because we need to figure out the right place to take it down. Did I make one? No, I didn't. We build some glass foundations a little ways out here so I can actually look down properly. Love these new glass foundations. Okay, so we want to have it down here. Ah, this should be very interesting. Can't take it up this one because, well, I can, but it's going to look silly. So another thing that I want to do while I'm at this is building some fences. So I don't have any accidents. Then we build a conveyor pole there. This is going to look horrid. Still need to deal with how to get the power up here, though. That's going to be an interesting challenge. Just build a couple of foundations going out here. And then a conveyor lift Mark IV, hook it up to that. That. Hopefully this will work. I can't aim at that from up here. Power. I might be able to take power up there. Let's aim for that as our... Okay. That was interesting. Not a huge fan of the angle that comes down at. I would prefer it to come down at the correct angle. Things are probably going to respawn again soon. Well. Okay, well, I think I'm going to redo this because I would prefer that lift to come down at the correct angle instead of having it crooked in the air like how it is right now. Be extremely risky. I need to remove the lift down there. Okay, there we go. I wanted to come at the correct angle. Does this work? Put the foundations like that. Is that about the correct angle? Looks better. I don't know if it is perfect, but let's try that angle instead. And then we have to remove that one. Then we have to check with glass foundations where the thing will come down. Get it down on the correct location, because this, for instance, would be a very inconvenient spot to make it come down. For obvious reasons, I don't want that lift to end up in the middle of my road down there. So I think that we want it to come down here. Here seems rather perfect, actually. Let's build a few fences. Remove those. I think it's fine to just leave it like this because I don't really need... Probably never gonna get up here again, ever, which suits me just fine. Power, I would like, not a Mark III, I can't afford that. I would like a Mark II power pole there. Connect it up to the miner. Now walking this way is dangerous because there are more evil things over here. But I might be able to get a power line down. I'll deal with that later on. Now we also need to deal with the lift itself. Let's go. I can just deconstruct that afterwards, together with the rest of these foundations. Not sure if I'm far enough away. That looks better. Okay, so I haven't been able to build that yet. It's still... It's appearing there, but it isn't there. It doesn't help that it's turning into night. Over here should be one of those big nasty space goats, and of course the wasps. I'm not too concerned about the wasps right now because I'm not going anywhere near them. Going down here might be risky business. It doesn't look risky. What is that? Is that a snack tree? Interesting. A flying snack tree. Well, I'm not going to bother with that. I would prefer to stay alive. So, this power pole, can I connect that to something? That big goat comes attacking me from behind now. I'm going to be very upset. Let's build a few glass foundations. I think it's too far down. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it's too far down. Wire is too long. I suppose I could connect it up to... Maybe if I make some inverted ramps in the mountain there. It'll look kind of funny, but it works. looks better than I expected. Okay, now with that done, I think we can concentrate on getting back to the car, which probably means having to go past those wasps and all that crap. But it doesn't. Involves me having to build some ramps or something to get back up. But we're at 45 minutes, so I think that we will rather just end the episode here, and I will continue this feat in the next, either between episodes or in the next episode. I don't know if people enjoy me doing this. That is a very bizarre place for a power slug. The logistical challenges involved in doing this is interesting, to put it mildly. So yeah. Not looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you all in the next one.